Arctic hornless rhino. Bet that's something you never expected to hear. But that's exactly what paleontologists just announced was discovered in the Canadian high Arctic. And this newly named Arctic rhino is a clue to the existence of an ancient land bridge. The new species is called Apiaceratherium Igiluk. It lived near a crater lake surrounded by a temperate forest about 24 million years ago in a time called the early Miocene. Apiaceratherium igiluk is a new species within a genus of small hornless fossil rhinos that was already known from Europe. The new species name, Igiluk, is an Inuktitut word that means frost or frosty. This species name was chosen with the help of an Inuit elder. This new fossil is the most northerly rhino species ever discovered, and its location on the opposite side of the Atlantic Ocean from its closest relatives hints at something called the North Atlantic Land Bridge that could have allowed species to cross between the two continents. It's well known that this land bridge connected Europe and North America in the early part of the Cenozoic era, but it was thought to have disappeared sometime in the early Eocene about 56 million years ago. But according to the researchers' analyses of the locations and relationships of over 57 other fossil rhino species, that land bridge could have existed around 20 million years longer than we previously thought, letting rhino species pass back and forth and allowing Apiaceratherium igiluk to end up calling the Canadian high Arctic home. Best of all, the discovery, collection, and description of this species was done by a dream team of girl bosses. The fossil rhino was first found in the 1980s in the Houghton crater on Devon Island, Nunavut. The nearly complete skeleton was discovered by the GOAT paleontologist, Dr. Mary Dawson from the Carnegie Museum. She ended up returning to the exact same spot in the crater where that rhinoceros had been found when she was in her 80s. This was while she was accompanying a fossil hunting expedition to the crater that was led by Dr. Natalia Rybczynski from the Canadian Museum of Nature. Those new expeditions in the 2000s found more tiny pieces of the same rhinoceros specimen, and many of those were prospected and collected by Marissa Gilbert, a research assistant at the Canadian Museum of Nature and part of the team. Once the fossil was back at the museum, paleontologist Danny Fraser of the Museum of Nature helped to describe, name, and identify the fossil, and to perform the analyses that helped solve the land bridge mystery. If you ask me, this frosty Arctic rhino is straight fire.